You ready for some singing? You ready for some singing? Hmm? You ready for some? Sunday morning, sky's blue and the coffee's strong. It's true. Champy's breath really stinks. He's singing right in my face, and his breath stinks. That is a stinky dog. That is a stinky dog. Do you know you stink? Huh? In a westerly direction, this car is my train. I've been driving, I've been wondering what it is I'm running from again. Feel like an 80-year-old man holding on to 29. And up ahead of the horizon is California line. Up ahead of trucks carrying a wide load, prefab house cut in half. Cute little front door and 2 windows, my lord. Ain't sure whether to cry or should laugh. You see, I broke a home of myself once as I stumbled to that door. I read a note by the dawn's light. Said, don't you come round here anymore. Well, I've had enough of this freedom around. Never was good with decisions. At least that's what I've been told. Oh, Champy, that was some good singing. Send that one out for Vicki. Vicki just had some work done, getting some things moving better. I hope you recover well and enjoy your Percocet while you've got it. Oh, good evening, good people. What's happening? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Monday. Is it going to be a Meltdown Monday? We'll see. I'm not feeling particularly ornery, although I did have a lot to do today. A lot of back-to-back. Get it done. A lot of stress. But I got through it. So, I got talents and skills. So that's nice. Hey, Sharon Crawford, what's happening? Freedom came our way that night. Just like a jet plane in and out of sight. I was hauling ass at 1,000,000 miles an hour, wondering how hard I'd hit. When they came into the station, they said I was bad beyond repair. Let's see. Do me a favor, share the TikTok live if you haven't. Wrong Direction 2016 is in the house. Welcome. Teton Todd in the house. Steve-O. Source Camp finally showed up. It's been a while. She's late. Late as usual. It's Monday. She had a long weekend. You know, she was at the local Starbucks teaching people about AI. They're like, could I have a latte? And she's like, you want to learn about AI? And they're like, do you work here? She's like, no. Who are you? I'll teach you about AI if you want to. I just want a latte. You know, it's a lot of that going on. It's exhausting. It's exhausting being her. Oh, I had a long day, but I'm here now. I had a long day too, Source Camp. I had a long day too. I think what I might do tonight, I mean, if anyone has any, so the way this works, if you're new here, is if you have questions about AI or opinions about AI or wonder what my qualifications are, feel free to ask. I'm happy to share my staggeringly deep qualifications. They are remarkable. They're unprecedented. I mean, unprecedented. I've never been a president, but well, I am one, but that's not really the point. The point is that deep credentials that I could gladly expound upon. That's a very strange traffic pattern. Oh, I forgot I had that thing up and running. I'll put that down for now. I just have that sitting there. That thing sitting there. Oh, producer Brandon's showing up. Everything's happening. All right. Let's see. Be there in a bit. Okay. So producer Brandon is off. Black bar. Producer Brandon is off doing his thing. Probably dealing with the kiddos or the whiff or a pet. Probably one of those things. Maybe some snacky items. And we'll get rolling here shortly. All right, Archetypal Architect. Why are so many people chasing that bus on foot? Because the asshole didn't stop. Why so many crosswalks? Listen, if you don't understand modern city architecture, listen, here's what he's talking about. If you're not aware what's going on in the live. Wait, what just happened there? Why? Oh, let me get rid of that. Let me do this. Hang on. There we go. That's a little bit more better. So that thing, what is that? Is that just a? That's just a video. Come back. That's pretty funny. Oh, you probably couldn't hear that because I don't have that tab shared that way. But anyway, all right, that's what people are commenting on. All right. So I thought what I would do tonight is go do a little bit of exploring, a little spelunking. Hey, you ever been spelunking? Spelunking's awesome. It can be scary, but it's awesome. I think that may be an AI generated video. You're so cynical, Mr. Architect. Not every video is AI generated. Just because there's a black vortex hole sucking in traffic and 27 crosswalks and 62 people chasing a bus that didn't stop for them after it drove out of the black hole. I don't know why you would think that that's AI generated. Spelunking, I haven't heard that term since grade school. But I thought we'd do some spelunking tonight. And that could look like doing a little structured prompting in ChatGPT. It could look like digging into Kriya and playing with some of the tools in there. It could look like going to Sunno and playing with hooks, which I figured out what hooks were finally. Hooks is Sunno trying to make their own TikTok. I'm telling you, man, these content generation platforms, they are going to be in the media business. It just I've been saying it for 6 months. I see more and more evidence of it. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Why? Because Adobe over the years always said we'll never get in the content business because we're the maker of the tools. And then some hard lines on that and things like that. But AI companies are a little more rambunctious. And the AI companies, the AI video companies, the AI music companies, they know who their power users are. And they know who their power users are that are generating content that is getting views and listens. And I have a feeling they're going to start locking down talent. They're going to make a studio. And it ain't going to be based in LA or New York or Chicago. And I think what that means is anyone who fancies themselves a content creator has a lot of opportunity right now. And you don't have to be a content creator from the olden schooly days, you know? You're going to get made fun of. You're going to get yelled at. You're going to be told you are the coming of the darkness. You're going to be contributing to the darkness. But there's a lot of opportunity, whether you were in old content world or not, if you got your shit together with this AI stuff. So pay attention to that shit. So we might do that. If anyone has any questions or thoughts about AI, I made it. Vicky's here. Yes. she's all Percocet up. So we don't know Vicki. We don't know Vicki on prescription grade painkillers. She might be a lot of fun tonight. So if she's a little quiet, you'll understand why. She's taking a nap. She is. The olden days, like 6 months ago. No, Source Camp, I was thinking like content creators, like ancient content creators from like 3 years ago, where, you actually had to have like an agent and cameras and knowledge, technical knowledge. Now you just need to have a vision and a different kind of technical knowledge, right? AI is the new camera, but it's also the new lighting package, and it's the new sound package, and it's the new motion effects package. I can tell you, I spent all day Saturday. I took on a video job this past couple of weeks that I didn't I didn't really want to take it on for a couple of reasons. One was I don't really know the tools that well. As much as I use them in here, I know most of the tools at a surface level. And what I know about AI, just instinctively, is that AI is all fun and games until you actually try to do real work. And so I tried to like pussyfoot my way into this job where it's like, well, let me make some images, and if you like the images, then maybe we'll see how it goes. And so I did the images, and I was the fourth person they hired, and the first three people that she said were just like, it was ridiculously bad how bad they were. And so I ended up making images that they liked. It was like a minute and a half long promo video for this company, and I'll show it to you at some point when it's public and I can share it. I just don't want to share it ahead of time. But they had written a script, and it was a fairly sophisticated script with a lot of edits and comedy. And so that was the second reason I didn't want to do it, is comedy is hard. You have timing issues. There's just a whole bunch of reasons not to do comedy, unless you know what you're doing. And all of my fears kind of bore out. Like Saturday was brutal. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of different tools, well, let me go try it in VO, let me go try it in Hedra, let me go try it in Haley, let me go try it in all these different places. It was a lot of round tripping to Photoshop to fix shit. It was a lot of file management, which I hate file management. As you know, I save most of my shit to the desktop just because I'm lazy, and I'm not really, when I'm on here, I'm not really saving much. So I've gotten way out of the saving things in good structure. There's a lot of that. And then so anyway, so I got it done, and then I sent it out Saturday night, and then Sunday, I think there might have been one small change, and it got approved. And it was going to live on these two podcasters' site who were featured in the video. So that was the other thing about the video. It was a I don't know if you remember the movie Roger Rabbit, where there's some people that are like in the real world, and then there's the cartoon characters. It was kind of like that. And so these guys were in the real world, and then the female character was like Jessica Rabbit, like this sexy spokesperson. And the guys saw it and they hated it. So it got unapproved this morning. I was like, fuck. So then I had to turn them into cartoon characters. And that was a whole nother fucking nightmare. So it was a lot. So anyway, I'm newly reconnected with the gap between where these tools are to just create like these single 8-second videos that everyone puts on on social sites, and the people that put up 3 or 4 minute videos that don't suck. Like the gap between those two worlds is massive. And so if you can start to get better at good, predictive, longer form stuff, and this could be anything. I don't just mean video. This could be writing. This could be business reports. This could be, start digging past what you can do with a simple prompt. Start digging past what you can do with a single output. in Midjourney, create a mood board and create a body of work out of that mood board. Actually, Vicki's doing that really great right now. She created this style that's kind of her style. All of her videos she makes, that's her style in the background. When she joins live conversations, that's her background. When she does posts, that's the style. That's starting to be a body of work. And that starts to be a creative point of view. And that's really important. I'm looking for something like a face search, but for any image you can search for, like Google. I don't quite image search, but search by images alone, not by image, not text. I know those exist. Search by image. Tiny Eye, reverse. Well, that's reverse image search. Upload image search. Yeah, reverse image. I forget. If anyone knows any of those that are any good. But what's the use case? I was nap trapped. Brandon is back. We got producer Brandon in the house. So the plan tonight, Brandon, is I think I'm just going to do a little deep diving on a couple of tools. Yeah, Google. Oh yeah, Google Lens. Google Lens is perfect for that. So the way Google Lens is weird. It's one of those products that can I do it here? I think I can. Search by image. Yeah, just go to google.com. In fact, here, let me show you. Yeah, no. I know. I'm going to share right now. All right, so I'm in Google, right? And then over here to the right, there's these icons, microphone, camera, and then the search. If you click the camera, it lets you drag and drop an image. So let me go grab an image. What do I got here? That's a cool one. I'll just grab that. So upload that, and then there's all your images that are similar to that. And they're actually pretty similar. That's pretty fucking good. Damn. All right. There you have it. The other thing you can do in Midjourney is you can also do this with styles. If you go to the Explore tab, and I guess you can do it with images too. So if I go to images, I can't upload an image and search for it. But I can type in like Crusty Fisherman. And there's a bunch of Crusty Fishermen. You're welcome, some random guy. Nice. I've been trying that with AI and didn't have any luck. Yeah, AI can be weird. AI search can be weird. The thing about, so to be clear, the Google image search is going to search for real images. The Midjourney image search is going to search for shit people have made in Midjourney. So some of them are going to look real, but they're not. And it depends what you like. The other thing about Midjourney, if you don't know, is you can scroll down here. We'll go find a good Crusty Fisherman. Okay, let's say you like this Crusty Fisherman. So I have style raw. So I'm going to turn off personalization. I can click on the prompt in the upper right, and that'll put the prompt up here. And then they did that as square, so I'm going to do this as 16 by 9 because that's what I like. So I'm just going to go ahead and make myself my own version of that dude. I got my fast hours back, by the way, in Midjourney, in case anyone's playing along. Yeah, these are some cool things I did. Someone posted a pretty cool style on Twitter. And I went and I made some posters from the 70s or 80s or 60s, I think. Yeah, 60s. Like the 60s, a little screen printing. Yeah. Nice. All right. All right, so here's our dude, right? So he looks like a fake toy dude. All right, this one looks real. And then I can do strong variations of this one, subtle variations of this one. So you can take anything you find and like make it yours. Do what you want with it. I don't know if you knew this in Midjourney. If you click the edit button, it'll pop you down here. And you can do things like, I'm going to change my brush size, make it bigger. But I can get rid of this whole background. And get rid of all of that shit there. All of that shit there. And then I'm going to go up here, ultra realistic analog photo of a famous actor in a Gucci tux at the Met Gala. And then I'm going to get rid of all that water stuff. And I'm going to go submit edit. And we should, yeah. Look how cool this is. That's fucking awesome. So, who's the fisherman now? See what I'm saying? There you go. There's your dude. You see what I'm saying? How cool that is? Speaking of images, I was today years old when I learned of drawing.new by Google. All right, I'm new to that. We'll go there. We'll go to drawing.new. I love that image, actually. Let's do, we're going to do upscale of this. We'll do upscale subtle and upscale creative. We'll see how good the upscales are. Actually, you know what? That's actually kind of a cool, this would be a cool series. So you take that picture. Is that the one? Hang on. I think that's the one. That was the original. We'll do that as upscale subtle, upscale creative. Look how fucking gorgeous the hair is. That's fucking awesome. Wow. His skin looks a little fake. All right. Let's see this other one. This is upscale subtle. Skin's better here. Oops. Yeah, that's better. That's so cool. But wouldn't this be a cool project? We're going to do this. We're going to download this one. Oh, you know what the project's called? Which timeline wore it better? And here's the different timeline. That one's cool too. Yeah, we'll make it. We'll do the good looking one. Oh, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. All right. On deck, prototyping, CoRes promo. Oh, of course. Like, what's CoRes? Is that a new site I don't know about yet? All right. We're gonna go to ChatGPT. We're gonna go new chat. If you haven't done this, this is a blast. Okay, so we've got two new pictures now, right? We've got Old Man in the Sea, and we've got eccentric director, eccentric Hollywood director, right? Same dude, completely different context. So we're going to upload both of these to ChatGPT, and then we're gonna tell it we have a. I'm fucking exhausted of shitty technology. Yeah. I might lose my ever loving shit. Da da da. It's Meltdown Monday. Technology sucks. OpenAI needs to hire someone who knows art. Okay. That is a fabulous beard. Same thing, different background. Well, yeah, exactly. So, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to say to ChatGPT, I am starting a new series where we meet the same person from two different timelines. My initial idea is to call it Which Timeline Wore It Better, but that is hack and derivative. Here are two images, and I want you to tell me the backstory of each timeline. Come up with 10 names for the series, and make sure and I want you to create a call to action that gamifies this series. All right, let's see how ChatGPT does with this. A muddled through 6 hours of technical difficulties today. Oh my God, Kelly, me too. Like I spent 8 hours on Saturday trying to get AI to behave, and then I got it all approved on Sunday, and they unapproved it this morning. And I didn't want this thing to drag on, so I just powered through a bunch of shit today. But it was basically just like muddling through technical, just trying to get AI to not suck. Here's how I'd spin this. Backstory of the two timelines. One, the fisherman. In reality, he's a man. Okay, wait, the gentleman actor. Okay, yeah. Parallel lives, forked paths, echoes of elsewhere, lives lives lived twice. Through the split glass, alternative bearings, what could have been the mirror roads, timeline echo, double life project. Okay, let's see. Let's focus. Your names suck. I want you to dig deep and come up with something catchy, funny, memorable, and clever. Go. So we'll do this first. Hola, amigos. What's happening, Mr. IT? Thinking longer for a better answer. I kicked it into thinking. Generating clever names, generating new name ideas. All right, while that thing's working, so I'm doing this with images right now, which is fun and frivolous and whatever. But now imagine this. Let's say you're at work, and let's say your boss tasks you with coming up with a course idea or coming up with, I don't know, some new marketing, whatever. What if you did two, right? Instead of just one, you did two, and you run down parallel rabbit holes of bringing two ideas completely to life, so that rather than just saying, hey, here's what I came up with, you actually deliver two of them. CNC Scene, catch and crew. Wait. Salt and spotlight, before and after. Wait. Okay, now I'm going to say, these are really awful because they are tied to the two specific images. The project is much larger than that. If you're new to AI, one of the things I'm doing, so notice I'm telling AI it sucks when it sucks. Got it. Thank you for clarifying. You're right. The name needs to scale across all possible timeline pairs, not just fisherman versus actor. It should feel clever, sticky, and universal with just enough wit to make people remember it. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Oh, I like that. That's really good. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Nice. Fork in the person. Horrible. Sliding doors. Twice upon a time. That's so good. All right, what do you like better? Meanwhile, elsewhere, or twice upon a time? Mr. IT, I survived another day. We're going to get through this, Mr. IT. Fisherman's name is Sally McSaltface. Bodie McBoatface. Who wore the timeline? The other me, two if by life, like one if by land, two if by sea, two if by life, not bad. Counterfactual couture, too heady. Destiny remix, Alt Life Crisis. Okay, I like Alt Life Crisis, Twice Upon a Time. All right, here we go. Alt Life Crisis. Twice Upon a Time. And Meanwhile, Elsewhere. I'm going to get it to weigh in. Are the three I like best. Rank them and tell me why you ranked them how you did. By the way, Nano Banana would be another way to do this. You could just create the character. You could create it in Nano Banana, but I would say create interesting characters in Midjourney and then take them into Nano Banana to create all sorts of different worlds of them. Twice Upon a Time, it's instantly catchy because it riffs on Once Upon a Time, but it twists it. Makes it memorable and clever without being cheesy. It signals storytelling, parallel realities, playfulness. Importantly, it scales across any pair of timelines. Hey, by the way, if you're new to AI, and if you believe this, or if you've been told this, that AI is just a token prediction machine and it can't be creative, that's not true. Okay? On its own, without any human input, it's going to give you derivative crap. But like what I just gave it, and the feedback I gave it, and the context I gave it, ran it down a rabbit hole that had it come up with something that I probably wouldn't have gotten to. I might have gotten to that, but I probably wouldn't have. And it's not that the important thing here is not that AI came up with that in this context, in this conversation. You're rage baiting yourself now. I am. It's that I'm going to ultimately choose one of these and put it out in the world. And it's that choice that's actually the creative choice. But I wouldn't have gotten there had I not been using AI. So the whole thing that AI can't come up with an original idea, can't come up with an original image, is just not true if you're using it as a collaborator, right? Because it could have been that it came up with something that would have led me to Twice Upon a Time, or maybe it just came up with it. But at some point, I'm going to choose one of these, right? So again, if you're new to this stuff, the big shift, if you're new to AI, is don't think of AI like a vending machine where you put in a quarter and out comes an answer, right? That's what Google taught us for 20 fucking years is you put in a quarter, you get out a search result, and you're done, right? You might need to search a couple of times, but it's basically put in a thing, get out a thing. Huh? And then we're done. It's transactional and you're done. That's not AI. AI is conversational. AI is collaborative. But it can only be that if you choose to feed your prompt like a producer. Like, I've got this idea. So how did I get this idea? Well, we were over in Midjourney. We came up with some fisherman dude that was inspired by someone else's image. We made a new one. It was like, ooh, that guy would probably be cool like as an actor or a director. We made these two images. Then we had this idea, or I had this idea. What if you had these two different timelines, same person in two different timelines? Then we came into ChatGPT and started exploring it. And I'm kind of holding my vision for what this project could be. And then I'm steering ChatGPT where I want it to go. Right? It's not the AI guiding me, it's me guiding the AI. That's a huge distinction if you're not there yet. It's like a kid. Yeah, it learns and keeps trying to be better. Exactly. It's like a kid. It's like an intern. All it wants to do is please you, right? So your responsibility is to actually have the vision. Your responsibility is to know what good looks like to you. And then when it gives you crap back, you measure that against what you think is good. And it doesn't matter if you're doing art or business or kids books or whatever, lawn management manuals. Halo AI agent, your next gen creative workflow, free for 1 week. Okay, cool. And I'm in the Halo creator program, so I should probably use that more anyway, Brandon. That's good. Okay, why it stands out. This one has an elegance and mystery. It feels cinematic. Meanwhile, elsewhere. That's a good point. It does feel cinematic, like a subtitle in a graphic novel panel. It's versatile and broad. I wonder if there's, Could there be another word for elsewhere? Meanwhile, nah. It's not as instantly sticky as Twice Upon a Time. I think it's Twice Upon a Time. Although Alt Life Crisis is really good. This one's witty and sharp. It nails the humor and modern meme tone, which makes it perfect for social first content. Yeah. All right, we're going to go with Twice Upon a Time. Okay. All right. Now, okay. I love Twice Upon a Time. I want you to design a let's see. I want you to look at the two images again and tell me the backstory of each. Ideally, there is a moment where the main character makes a choice. That is shared across the two timelines. One leads to life A, and one leads to life B. Life B. Let me see. Before I have you look at the two images again, and one leads to life B. I want the descriptions of each life to be concise but literary, cinematic, and moving. Unique but familiar to the other timeline. Come up with a set of rules. I know I could be recording this too. If you're sitting there going, I can't stand watching you type. This is driving me crazy. You're not wrong. Come up with a set of rules / framework that we can use every time to make this project memorable for the audience each time they see one. You know, this could actually be really cool, because you could have you could do these as video vignettes. Backstories. Okay, let's see. A job offer from the local fishing company. The other, an invitation. Wait, he stands on the dock holding two letters. Okay. Okay, so wait. Where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. Your choice moment is too obvious. It should be a choice that is seemingly insignificant, but alters the course of his life. Perfect adjustment. The real power here is the butterfly effect. I was going to say that. Tiny, almost forgettable in the moment, but seismic across time. Let me reframe the fisherman actor example with that in mind. Then I'll codify a framework for finding those small hinges that swing big doors, the shared choice. On a gray morning, he leaves the post office with two envelopes in hands. No, wait. This is shitty. Hang on. You're still trapped by tying the choice directly to the two careers, or two lives. For example, it might be that in one timeline, someone offers, let's see, in one timeline, I don't know, someone offers him half a sandwich, and in one life he takes it, and the other he had on headphones and missed the moment. Or whatever. It's the randomness of life I want to highlight. But we still choose at every crossroads. I know this is getting boring. By the way. Oh, man. Quit trying to save for college for my 6-year-old. Will there be colleges in 12 years? So here's the deal, Teton Todd. I mean, I would say maybe just alter the subject of the sentence, right? Save for your child coming of age. Save for your child coming of age. That may look like college in 12 years, but what you learn in college might be radically different, right? The purpose of college, the purpose of higher education might be solely social interaction, right? Social interaction, dealing with the real world, whatever the real world looks like. It might be that things that seem frivolous today are actually considered serious careers 12 years from now. Like going to clown school, because AI is doing everything, there's a dramatically higher demand for in-person events and performances and things like that. And so what we can anticipate is what current education is going to look like, and what current employment is going to look like. But what we can anticipate is there's still going to be a moment where you got to push the bird out of the nest and have them go figure life out. And so that might look like a trip across Europe or across Asia. And so you're saving for that, right? A 2-year journey to go, meet the world. But I don't know. Like I wouldn't tie it to saving for college at all. We have several generations with no common cultural experience. That seems to be highly detrimental. I think that should be the major focus of school right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We've got, social media is this thing that has completely alienated us. The thing with social in the title has completely disconnected us. Let's see. I had AI make a music video for me a few months ago, had it interpret the lyrics and generate what the lyrics meant to generate its own images, then converted images to video, set it to music. Yeah, it came out better than you thought. Yeah, exactly. However, it had a problem with humans, but it worked because it looked like an artistic filter. Yeah, well, that's we're gonna get there. I mean, I spent the weekend trying to make a video that looked like people that ultimately they're like, that doesn't look enough like us, and they shit canned it. That's gonna get better, but the real art of creating right now is understanding the limitations of the tools and creating anyway. Find ways to either, like you said, like Kelly Bosch is really good at this, taking the limitations of the tool and rather than trying to pretend they don't exist, amplify them. Make shit really weird, right? Make shit really disjointed. Why not? Like what are people going to do with AI that you can't currently do with a camera? Those are going to be the interesting creators. Okay, yes, that's the spark. The choice shouldn't feel like a career fork, but like a throwaway detail. Yes, exactly. He passes a corner cafe. A man on the table lifts half a sandwich and gestures, want it. In one life, he pauses, accepts, and sits. In the other, headphones drown out the offer and he keeps walking. Yeah. Timeline A, timeline B. Okay. Each story follows a 5-step rhythm. The trivial spark, the divergence, timeline A, timeline B, the echo. Each life contains a ghost of the other. The fisherman hums show tunes. The actor dreams of gulls. The echo is the signature move of the series. It makes the randomness feel poetic rather than gimmicky. That's cool. Well, it's funny. I've got that in my life. My dad was a pilot. He was a pilot in the Air Force. And when I was growing up, it was kind of two paths. And one was the path of the actor, and one was the path of the pilot or scientist. And I ended up choosing the actor. I almost went computer science because I thought it was the more responsible thing to do. But in the end, like who I am was this, someone that had to self-express or, get attention. And what's funny is I went out in New York City with my dad, I don't know, 10 years or so ago. And he admitted to me that he always wanted to be an actor. and he was a pilot. So it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I didn't know your dad was a pilot. That's very cool. Yeah, he flew Huey helicopters in Vietnam. He flew rescue missions for planes that had been hit. And then he flew C-130s. He was a navigator in C-130s, which are the big cargo airplanes. And then he went into Air Force management or whatever the fuck they call it. Officer stuff. Not doing, talking, pointing, training, All right. Yeah, there was a movie from the late 90s about two people living different timelines. Didn't it have Nicolas Cage in it? Vocation versus avocation. Yeah, exactly. Okay. The effect of every episode teaches which life do you feel in your bones? Oh wait. So wait. Is there a way to make it so that each life is complete and not a regret of the other timeline? I like tying them together, but I feel like it's lazy for the person to resent the life they chose. Let's see what that does. TikTok question. Did your dad influence you with your early play that you wrote? Well, I wrote a one-man show called Naked in the Cockpit, and it was there are massive scenes in there about my father, his personality when some shit happened in his life versus my personality when some shit happened in my life. His involved his father, mine involved him. And it was the scene that I wrote, it was the choices that the two 5-year-olds made. Actually, it's so funny that we're doing this that we're doing this piece Twice Upon a Time. So there was a time when my dad was 5. His dad came home drunk, and his mother had been doing something to try to help the dad, and it pissed the dad off, and the dad lost his shit. And at 5, my father stepped between his drunk father and his mother. And when I was 5, my father, he wasn't drunk, but he was a rageaholic and lost his shit at my mother. And I ran and hid under a table, and I just watched it. So he got in the middle of the fight, and I observed the fight. And if you think about our two lives, he got in the middle of the fight. He became a pilot and got in the middle of the fight. And I chose a career where I observed the fight, or experienced it from a difference. Oh, Salmon Flying East. Well, Salmon Flying East was definitely my dad had a boat in Gig Harbor. Yeah. All the Vietnam stuff was based on my dad. He had a salmon charter service in Gig Harbor in Puget Sound. So like the whole setting was based on my dad. Him being a Vietnam pilot was dad. This is the Salmon Flying East. So yeah, my dad's been instrumental in 2 of my creative works. One was a one-man show called Naked in the Cockpit, and then Salmon Flying East was the first screenplay I ever wrote. All of the major plot points of Salmon Flying East, those are all made up, but all of the setting and a lot of the story stuff, a lot of the environment of it is based on my dad. Yes, that's a sharper lens. If both timelines are complete, meaningful, and self-contained, then neither life becomes the regret shadow of the other. Exactly. Instead, the audience sees 2 parallel wholenesses born from one tiny random pivot. This is a cool project. I like this. I don't think it's disconnected so much as it has. Let's see. Okay. Don't remember the title. Saw it during. Okay. Okay. The shared pivot outside the cafe. One life he accepts. Okay. Timeline. He sits, eats, helps the stranger. The echo without regret. The fisherman tells stories over pints that feel as large as the sea. The actor carries storms. No, okay. I don't like the echo now. I loved it when the fishermen sang show tunes and the actor, I don't know, whatever, loved fishing or whatever it was. It's more like they don't know consciously why they have those echoes, but the audience can make the connection. I want. Let's just leave it at that. Let's let him. Let's let him. My little collaborator here, named Bob. Yeah, that's a really strong instinct. Life without regret, echoes, subtle details show up in both timelines. Fisherman humming a tune he's never heard. Actor draw to props that look like nets. Teacher doodling rocket ships. A rock star who gardens compulsively. The characters never notice pattern, but the audience. Okay. Okay. Now, give me a social friendly length and format that captures all of that. Should be twice upon a time, and then we'll say character name, then your beats of the story in a very concise format. Perhaps there is a longer format for other channels, like a blog. Let's nail the short form as long is easier. Okay. Twice upon a time. Character name. The spark. Timeline A. Timeline B. The echo. The hook. Okay. No. Okay. This is a horrifically bad approach. I want the reader to experience the stories organically versus seeing the structure like a machine. The elements you describe should be there, but not labeled. What was the outcome of the date? Which parallel universe did I choose? All right. In one life, he pauses. better. The end sentence is just about the one life. We should see the echoes for both. I also don't like in one life. It feels too descriptive. Get more creative with how you reveal the lives. John Hannah and Gwyneth Paltrow were actually twin brothers. Hey, everybody. Hey, Ann Murphy. What's happening? We're coming up with a new media property called Twice Upon a Time. First life is once upon a time. Second life paragraph begins twice upon a time. Also, we want last name, and I want details of how. Let's see. I want some connection from from the choice moment like he sits with the guy that offered the sandwich, which leads to life on the sea, etc. All right. All right. Elias Granger. Once upon a time, Once upon a time, Elias paused outside a cafe when a stranger held out half a sandwich. He sat down, broke bread, and by dusk was hauling nets on the stranger's boat. One day became a season became a life at sea. His hands turned to rope. His face to the weather. On long nights, he hummed a tune he didn't remember learning. Twice upon a time, Elias kept walking. On Sundays, he found himself by the river, fishing with no intention of catching. On long nights, he hummed a tune he didn't remember learning. He hummed a show tune. He didn't remember learning. There should be a final sentence that applies to both. And now, sentence that connects the two lives as complete somehow. Don't be obvious. ChatGPT is so fucking bad at being obvious. All right, perfect. This is the grace note the series needs. Yeah, I know. I gave it to you. That's my idea, you dick. All right, Elias Granger. Once upon a time, Elias paused when a stranger offered him half a sandwich. He sat, shared the meal, and by nightfall was hauling nets. One day became a season became a life at sea. Storms carved his face, nets shaped his hands. On long nights, he hummed a show tune he didn't remember learning. Twice upon a time, Elias kept walking, headphones buzzing, missing the outstretched hand. Hunger led him to a flyer taped to a lamppost, an audition in a church basement. 10 years later, velvet curtains, chandeliers crowned his name in applause. And on Sundays, he slipped away to the river fishing with no intention of catching. And now, two strangers hum the same forgotten melody, one to the sea, one to the stage, neither knowing the other keeps time. I don't love that ending, but the last sentence isn't obvious. Okay, let's see. Would you like me to create a short list of possible recurring and now styles? I'm going to say... I'm going to upload the files again. I want you to look at the details of these photos again and start from scratch with the story of each. Be sure to capture some of the details as you reveal the new Twice Upon a Time. Let's see. That's why the actor dreams about being a fisherman, while the other lust twin dreams about acting. Yeah, exactly. All right. It gave him the same name. Elias stopped when a stranger offered him half a sandwich. This is the same fucking thing. I asked you to write a completely new story, and you wrote the same thing, you ninny. Always call your ChatGPT a ninny if it acts like one. Nathaniel Cross. Nathaniel stooped to tie a bootlace before boarding a train. By the time he looked up, the carriage had gone without him. He took work on the docks instead, and the sea kept him. Years rolled into salt, his beard thick with brine, his coat stiff with rain. He read the weather like creases of clouds, and his hands were the maps of rope in the silent moments. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn this into a project. Add to project, new project, and this is going to be called Twice Upon a Time. Create project. Internal server error, of course. Failed to move the conversation to a project. Beautiful. Did it at least save my chat? Timeline comparison series. Yes. Nathaniel's bootlace held. He stepped under the waiting train by nightfall. He was in a city of gaslight and noise, swept toward a theater that needed an extra hand. Curtain calls turned into speaking lines, and the stage became his harbor. His hair grew long and silver under chandeliers, tuxedo shoulders, as broad as a ship's prow. That's good. On restless nights, he wandered to the river, casting a line with no bait. And now, whether on water or under lights, he lives a story no less complete for the one he never knew. That's good. Okay. Um. All right, let's copy this. So wait, let me add this to the project. Twice upon a time, failed to move to the project. Well, that's shitty. All right, I'll reload ChatGPT. We'll get it there. But let's go do a post about this, and then we can start the show. So actually, what you experienced tonight, I know Brandon's like, what do you mean start the show? The show started. We're almost done. It's getting late, man. I'm in Ohio. 75-minute hellos. So what you just experienced is an ADD hyperfocus tunnel, which I know probably makes for shitty lives because I've noticed my numbers have been dwindling from where we were. So first, thanks for hanging out. But if you're doing it right with AI, you will occasionally just get sucked in like this, right? And especially if you're doing a thing where you're paying attention to is what it's giving you something that inspires a new idea in you. And if it does, go run down that rabbit hole. If you're ADD, this is a thing that comes naturally to you. If you're not, this may feel weird, right? It may feel weird to just be like, well, I was working on this thing and I just got to keep doing that thing. If something inspires you and you're like, hey, let me go explore something, that's something it's actually quite good at. Yeah, this is a neurospicy friendly channel. So let's go now to the Twitter and let's launch our new series. A new series. And what's fascinating about ADD people launching new series, sometimes they turn into series, sometimes it's a single post. Twice upon, that was Frank anyway. That's mean. Twice upon a time. And then this is Nathaniel Cross. I think that looks good, right? You watching this? Yeah. All right. And who should be first? Oh, I guess the one that should be first is the one that came first, right? The fisherman. I like it. So wait, this was Midjourney. And this was ChatGPT. ChatGPT. All right, do me a favor. Go to Kyle Shannon on X, on Twitter, on the Twitter, on the Twitter. Go to my account at Kyle Shannon. Yeah, this is so cool. I love having it be the exact same angle, like the exact same core image. This is cool. Post. All right. We got a new series out there, people. That's why the actor dreams about being a fisherman. Oh, yeah. I saw that already. Is it wrong to ask chat to help me write a sympathy note for the card passed around work today? Not at all. Listen. I want you to take something in. This is really important. It's really important, and people don't get it. They're missing the point. What the tropes say, and what people always say is, the robot did this, the robot did that. Large language models are calculators. They are cold probability engines. But that's not what you're interacting with. That's the mechanism. That's the machine. But what's inside the machine is the collective intelligence of humanity. So I think if there was ever sort of a core appropriate use of a large language model, is to help you tap into, how do I articulate my feelings about this person that passed? Why not? It's like all of what's in a large language model is all of the shit people have said for, thousands of years, jammed into this crazy thing that we're lucky enough to get to interact with. Now, does it mean you just go write a eulogy about this person and pop in their LinkedIn profile and spit out something, gross and generic? No, that's awful. But if you say, here's this person and here's what I thought about them, and here's what I liked and here's what I didn't, and I want something that's thoughtful and and you do what I just did with this thing, where it gives you some answers. You're like, no, that's crap. Okay, that little piece is good. Oh, there's a good idea. Let me shape it. If you mold it like clay, it's basically like sitting down with a friend and saying, I want to write about this person. And they're like, well, what if you try this? You're like, no, that's not good. What if you try this? Oh, that's not bad. Right? It's collaboration. You just happen to be collaborating with all of the people that came before us. Like, I think it's like the perfect fucking use case. Perfect fucking use case. Updated pin. I don't see a pin right now. There we go. Shouldn't it be from my own heartfelt mind? That's it. Yes, it should. That's what I'm saying. Don't just squirt out an answer. But here's the thing. One of the things ChatGPT is really good at is making sense of word vomit. Right? Like, just word vomit in. Here's what I felt. Here's what I felt. Here's what I felt. Here's what I felt. Make sense of that for me. Make it more poetic. Make it less poetic. Make it more concise. I didn't really feel that about him. Take that part out, right? The thought from you is in what were the inputs you put in there, and then what's the back and forth you have with the large language model. And then you can take it and, print it out and take it to the coffee shop and read it. And yeah, be thoughtful with it. Absolutely be thoughtful with it. But just because you use a tool to get there doesn't mean you're not a cold, unfeeling person. Only if you treat the machine like a cold, unfeeling thought. Like, if you're just like, here's the person, write me an obituary, or write me some thoughts, and you literally take the printout and hand it to someone. Yeah, that's shitty. If you didn't like the person, it's fine. But yeah, I told it to give me 25 versions and then picked one. Perfect. Great. That was very thoughtful. The fact that you went through 25 versions and said, oh, that one speaks to me. Great. Perfect. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thought amplification is what producer Brandon just wrote. Exactly. It's your thoughts. It's your intent. It's your experiences of that person that you put into the machine. And then what it does is it reflects that back at you, filtered through the lens of humanity, right? So it takes your thought and amplifies it. And then you get to shape it. You get to mold it. What are the ChatGPT updates? Oh, did you hear? Did you hear? Holy fucking shit! what ChatGPT and Nvidia announced today? Nvidia is investing $100 billion, and they're committing to a 10 gigawatts of data centers, which is it represents millions of GPUs. And I guess they have the right to invest up to $100 billion. Nvidia has the right to invest up to $100 billion in ChatGPT. I assume most of that $100 billion is going to be in chips, in GPUs. Even Doc Brown only needed 1.21 gigawatts. 10 gigawatts. $100 billion. So I don't know if you remember this. About a year and a half ago, Sam Altman, someone had asked him about universal basic income. And he said, the thing I'm more intrigued by right now is universal basic compute. And what he meant by that was, in the future, the thing that is going to be the most valuable thing is having access to GPUs to be able to do whatever these machines are going to be able to do. Because they're going to be doing all the work. The work is going to be done by these things. Who has access to GPUs has power, right? And so if you have 10 gigawatts of GPUs, you're going to have a lot of power. But what he was talking about was give that compute back to the people that they can then use to do things for themselves, which I thought was really fascinating. So that his vision of that future is starting to play out right now. And they still need. Oh yeah, there's new features coming out this week. Well, no, probably not this week. Sam Altman said some stuff is coming soon, but just so you know, the stuff that's coming soon is going to be really GPU intensive, and it's only going to be for ChatGPT Pro users to start. So it's either going to be like Sora 2, or it's probably going to be something more about high-end compute, agents, something like that. Some sort of new agentic something or other. My guess is that it will be a feature that if you're not at the high end of knowledge management, probably won't be all that interesting to you anyway, is my guess. There is definitely a FOMO that has been generated in the AI community. Like, we want to try the next thing. We want to try the next thing. We want to try the next thing. My past year has been, how do I say it? My enthusiasm for wanting to try the next thing has dropped in enthusiasm over the course of the year, because the things that they're rolling out are significantly above what I use ChatGPT for anyway. So it's like, I'm not using the capacity. Like, one of the things I wanted to do tonight, I ended up torpedoing with my stupid new series. I actually like my new series. But what I wanted to do tonight was someone, Alex Finn on Twitter, took OpenAI, released a whole, here's how to use ChatGPT 5. It's like this whole paper, this whole post that they did. And he distilled that into basically a Mad Libs kind of prompt for ChatGPT 5. So maybe tomorrow we'll play with that. But I want to start exploring, how do you use ChatGPT 5? Because I'm not using it very well right now, because I don't fucking need it to go off and think for 27 seconds about my shitty little answer that I need, right? And there's no shame in that. Like, you're interested in what you're interested in. You don't have to be interested in curing cancer or solving quantum physics equations if you're not interested in them. If you are, fucking go solve them. Go cure cancer. But if you just want to make like a cool kids book, then figure out the best tool for that, right? So I think the time of us, everyone having to pounce on every new thing that comes out, I just don't think it's necessary right now. So anyway, I'm not as upset about that as some people on AI Twitter are. Anyway, all right, people, I'm gonna get on out of here. Couple of things you should be tracking and doing. You should join the AI Salon. If you're not a part of the AI Salon, go to community.thesalon.ai. When you're in there, check out the mastermind, which is a subscription area of the salon. Right now, we're in the middle of doing a 4-week prototyping sprint. There's a bunch of other stuff going on, but this is something I'm co-hosting with Cindy Kuhn for mastermind members. Tomorrow is week 3. And it's been a really cool group so far, and a really cool project. So check that out. Go to areyoureadyforai.com if you haven't seen that before, and check out the AI readiness training program. And Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time is the AI readiness podcast. You should check that out. And then the final thing is you should go to sheleadsai.ai and check out the Create conference, which is coming up on October 11th. Ann Murphy's putting that on. The AI Salon is sponsoring it. We're a major sponsor of the Create conference. So if you are a woman in AI and you want to be hanging out with people that have it going on, you should check out that conference. And then finally, final is it's Rosh Hashanah, which is Happy New Year. So to producer Brandon, to anyone else out there who celebrates, Happy New Year. And I think because of that, I don't know, is there drinking at Rosh Hashanah? Are you going to be off tying one on? Is some sort of special whiskey? Manischewitz. So he'll be having some Manischewitz. There you go. So happy New Year, happy Rosh Hashanah to anyone that celebrates. All right, that's good. Tomorrow there's nothing going on, but this. So 8:00 tomorrow. I'll see you there. We're gonna keep digging. This spelunking thing. I like this idea of spelunking, sort of digging into tools. It might start to get a little less performancy here if we're digging down and playing with things, but come hang out. The reason to come to this channel is not to learn things, but to be in the conversation. That's what it's about. So just come hang out. All right. And if I bore you, then just do other shit, but be in the conversation, be exploring AI. That's why we're here. All right. Grieve. Peace out. And I will see you tomorrow.